Your gem was passed from a mother to a son.
Where are they now?
You have asked your questions!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 darkest moments in The Sandman.
I am anti-life. The beast of judgment. The dark at the end of everything.
For this list, we're looking at times that this series was more nightmarish than dreamlike. If you haven't watched The Sandman on Netflix, beware of spoilers ahead. What do you think is the darkest moment? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Dream's imprisonment.
We summon you together!
The inaugural season of The Sandman begins with occultist Roderick Burgess conducting a ritual ceremony to summon and entrap death. Well, they get Dream instead, and his imprisonment leads to a worldwide condition where some people fall asleep and never wake up. Others can't sleep at all.
The sleepy sickness, as it was called, affected nearly 1 million men, women, and children in every city, town, and village in the world.
The terrifying disease is called the sleepy sickness, or encephalitis lethargica, which was a real epidemic from 1915 to 1926.
I just want to sleep. Please.
Some begged for sleep that would not come. Others lived as perpetual sleepwalkers. Most slept without waking.
The cult ceremony was disturbing alone, especially since Burgess's young son Alex witnessed it all go down. He was later forced to murder Dream's raven Jessamy right in front of his eyes. Number 9, Lyta loses Hector again.
You belong with the dead. You must go to the place appointed for you. I'm sorry, but you must say your goodbyes now.
I'm not losing you again.
Lyta Hall, Rose Walker's closest friend, still struggles with the untimely death of her husband Hector. She sees him in her dreams, where they build a life together. Even though he technically shouldn't exist in the dream realm, Lyta's proximity to Rose, aka the Vortex, allows his spirit to not only spend time with Lyta, but also get her pregnant. It was traumatizing the first time she lost her husband in the waking world. Now, Lyta has to watch Morpheus banish Hector from the dreaming into the afterlife.
No. Please, stop. Hector, Dream, please stop. No! Hector!
Morpheus also tells Lyta that he'll be back to claim his baby.
The child was conceived in the dreaming. It is mine,
What?
and one day I will come for it.
Number 8, John Dee's ride with Rosemary.
She had me arrested, of course, and thrown in prison.
For stealing the ruby?
And arson. And murder. General mayhem.
After the death of his rapidly aging mother and his gruesome escape from the hospital, John Dee finds a Good Samaritan who offers him a ride after nearly running him over. All is well until John starts talking about his murderous past that led to 30 years in a psychiatric hospital. That's when things get dark and Rosemary becomes reasonably unsettled.
People lie because they are selfish. They lie because they are human.
They lie because they're scared.
It's one of the tensest scenes in the show. Thankfully, Rosemary and her dog Susie survive their encounter with the madman. We can't say the same for the gas station clerk, though.
You'll only be hurting yourself.
Number 7. Rachel dies. In search of his bag of sand, Dream tracks down Joanna Constantine. She's willing to give it back, no problem. But it's at her ex-girlfriend's place. At first, their reunion is awkward and tense, but then it feels like they're rekindling their romance.
Do you want to come in? And apologize properly?
Their interaction ends when Joanna finds the real Rachel withered away, on the verge of death as a result of the addictive and consuming nature of the sand.
Joe? Is that you? I've had such a wonderful dream.
Racked with guilt, Joanna steps out as Dream puts Rachel to rest. The entire sequence is an emotional roller coaster for Joanna and us. Number 6. Funland tries to kidnap Jed.
Where do you hunt?
I have a great place. There are thousands of people there.
Okay, everything about the collectors and their poorly named cereal convention is messed up, but Funland in particular made our skin crawl. His references to a certain theme park where he hunts for victims is sickening, and we were uneasy when he was just talking to Jed.
Actually got to meet him once.
You met the big bad wolf?
The actor who did the voice.
Wow.
But later, Funland tries to take advantage of the boy when he's lost and scared, and attempts to lure him back to his room. Luckily, Jed's big sister Rose arrives in time to save him, but Funland puts up a fight. It ultimately ends in his bloody demise, thanks to the unlikeliest of saviors.
You hurt me. Now I'm gonna have to hurt you.
Number 5. Morpheus's Judgment of the Collectors. In a world of dreams, nightmares, and gargoyles, there are still mortal threats. 3 of the collectors meet at a diner to discuss landing a keynote speaker for their convention, devising a plan to get the attention of the Corinthian with copycat murders.
Are you suggesting we copycat the Corinthian?
Might be fun.
They succeed, and in his speech, he encourages and glorifies their grisly hobbies. We're taken deep into their twisted minds.
We are the American dreamers, driving down the holy road of true knowledge that's paved with blood and gold.
However, Morpheus gives the attendees of the convention a brutal wake-up call. Once they're confronted with their unspeakable crimes, the collectors leave the convention, some turning themselves into authorities, others taking their own lives.
For this is my judgment upon you, that you shall know from this moment on exactly how craven and selfish and monstrous you are.
Seeing all their murderous fantasies was beyond disturbing, but this macabre ending goes even further. Number 4. Joanna Constantine's Nightmare. The world that Joanna Constantine walks through is filled with demons, but it's her own demons that keep her up at night. She has a recurring nightmare about the fate of a young girl named Astra. Joanna takes the place of John from the comics, and while the details differ, the basic story is similar. She blames herself for the poor girl being dragged down into hell. Imagine feeling that you were responsible for such a tragic and awful fate, and that you had to re-experience it whenever you fell asleep. That really is the stuff of nightmares.
But it wasn't only a dream, was it? It's a memory. No wonder you do not sleep.
Maybe I don't deserve to.
Number 3. Gregory's Fate.
Gregory! Stop! No!
Due to his century-long absence, Morpheus finds his kingdom in the dreaming in disrepair. To regain his power and summon the Fates, he sets out to find one of his creations to absorb. Sadly, his only option is Cain and Abel's gargoyle companion Gregory. It took us seconds to fall in love with the adorable creature.
Are you sure?
Good boy, Gregory. Good gargoyle.
But shortly after we meet him, Morpheus comes to end his life. What's even more upsetting is that Gregory seems to know what's coming and accepts his fate. Yes, Cain and Abel receive another incredibly cute baby gargoyle, but we're not sure if he can fill the Gregory-sized hole in our hearts. Number 2. Death Makes Her Rounds.
Do you know who I am?
No. Not yet, please.
Out of all the Endless, Death has what seems like the worst job, although she manages to find the grace and intimacy in it.
At the end, I'm there with them. I'm holding their hand and they're holding mine.
Dream tags along with his big sis while she does her work, and even he is touched by what he sees. Given her function, it's no surprise that death scenes would be somber. Though she exudes comfort and peacefulness, watching death kindly ease the dying into the afterlife is heart-wrenching. Their moment of realization is painful, even more so when we can hear their loved ones calling out to them, including the mother of a baby.
All right, sweetie. Lunchtime.
We can go.
Do some eating. Then maybe another nap. Mummy's sick. Then maybe park. Lovey?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Unmaking the Corinthian. Dream wipes out his rogue nightmare's existence.
I had so much hope for you. But I created you poorly then. So I must uncreate you now.
Royal Wedding Exorcism. Definitely one of the most gruesome demon summonings on screen. Nada and Kaikul. A cold, unforgiving Morpheus leaves his former lover to suffer in hell.
Kaikul, I will not give up hope. I will never give up.
Barnaby threatens Jed. Jed's foster dad routinely mistreats him.
If you embarrass us in front of this woman, I will take you back into the cellar.
Dream punishes his captor. Alex Burgess receives the gift of eternal sleep.
Your punishment then shall be a gift. I give you this, the gift of eternal sleep.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Diner.
You all did the rest. You did what you wanted to.
While on his crusade against lies, John Dee sits down in a diner and traps the patrons inside, unleashing chaos among them. Using the ruby, he removes their impulses to lie, which leads to the revelation of dark secrets and repressed desires. Some of these truths are incredibly bleak. Meanwhile, the news broadcasts on TV seem to show the world falling apart.
Assaults and random senseless murders in a wave of violence that appears to be happening worldwide.
I don't think it is you. I think it's him.
Traffic pileups, trains colliding, planes crashing.
The scenario culminates in John's victims inflicting horrible harm on themselves and each other. It's an existentially terrifying horror show.
You come from dust. You walk the dust. You go back to dust.
That's everyone's future. Tell me my future.
And John has an unnaturally calm reaction to it all because to him, this is a better world. But perhaps the darkest aspect of the entire episode is the possibility that a world without lies would descend into madness. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.